Boston lost last night, 123-102 in Game 2 to Milwaukee.
Big deal.
Kyrie had a pretty forgettable night.
Yeah.
His 9 points was just the second time in his playoff career that he scored in single digits.
Wow.
But Kyrie remained positive and appeared to embrace his leadership role.
There's no extra burden. This is what I signed up for. This is what Boston traded for me for. So being able to get back in the trenches, get ready for, another battle on Friday. This is what you live for. So, basketball is fun when it comes like this, when you have to respond. And, this is a type of basketball you want to be playing at this time of year.
Sounds confident to me. I think he's going to go back to Boston and drop 34. I love him.
Well, he had 26 points in Game 1, so he had a significant drop-off in Game 2. He was 4 of 18, 22.2% shooting, 9 points, 4 assists. That's quite a drop-off from Game 1 to Game 2.
It was. But Larry Bird had back-to-back 8-point playoff games. Even Michael Jordan had a stinker against Utah. Great players have bad games.
Not. I have no panic in this situation.
Right.
I did think that this series was going to go 7, and Milwaukee is still a really good team.
Yeah.
So if you take your foot off the pedal for a second, they're going to do exactly what Nick Wright said they were going to do. They have the ability to go off like that. That's why they had the best record in the league.
I cannot wait to have Nick Wright come back on the show and for the second time in 2 weeks be like, you're wrong, I'm right, in your face.
Milwaukee did not look good in Game 1 at all. But I still think if this series goes long, I know that
they're very even teams.
Right. And this is what we really should hope for anyway. The playoffs have been incredible for that reason. So the Suns appear to be very serious in their pursuit of Monty Williams for their head coaching vacancy, and they plan to show that in their second meeting with him by having Robert Sarver in the room for the interview. Shams reports Phoenix will interview Monty Williams for a second time this week, and it's expected to include Suns owner Robert Sarver. This is an important development because it means the Suns are taking the next step in their pursuit of Williams, who's also been targeted by the Lakers and potentially other teams.
Fascinating. Only team in the league, Phoenix, that if they won the ping pong ball lottery, you can make a very strong argument you take somebody other than Zion Williamson.
Right, yes.
Ja Morant. And I think he's as good he is just a spectacular talent.
I'm sad we didn't see more of Ja Morant in the tournament.
Yeah.
I totally agree because they do need a point guard. Overall, as far as the coaching situation goes, this is not an ideal situation for Monty Williams.
No.
You have the same situation that you've had since Sarver bought the team, which is Sarver. So nothing has really changed. The amount of talent that you have there, it's almost impossible to manage because he's that meddling of an owner.
Yep.
So if it's Monty Williams and what he's going to do and what the Lakers are going to do, I think is more of the determining factor than what the Suns are going to do. Because really what happens with the Sixers series, I believe, is what's going to determine the Lakers head coaching vacancy and the Sixers. Because if the Sixers don't end up winning this series, I believe Monty Williams is going to get that job. And then Ty Lue, I think Ty Lue should have the Lakers job anyway because he's a more accomplished head coach. And you can argue that he had more talent, but so does everyone who wins in the NBA has more talent. That's how it works. There's not a lot of underdog stories in the NBA Finals. So it's kind of a weird circle that's going on here with all those names, but we have to keep an eye on it. And finally, San Francisco 49ers made an easy decision last week when they took Joey Bosa, the second overall pick, but that may have been a rare example of the team's front office being on the same page because according to Matt Miller of Bleacher Report,
hate this.
Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are at odds. The two aren't in lockstep as far as the vision of the offseason and the future of the franchise. With 4 years left and a team that's been stuck in neutral ever since, a power struggle could be coming with Lynch and Chief Deputy Adam Peters on the outs and Shanahan looking for his own personnel man to run the draft and free agency.
I hate this. First of all, Shanahan's great, and he's intense. His dad's intense. So I can see that Shanahan would be this is Adam Gase. Adam Gase and Kyle Shanahan remind me so much of each other, is that they're super smart and super intense, and they can wear you out in a room. And Lynch doesn't have a background in personnel. He was a great player and a broadcaster. And my sources in the league like John, they're not sure yet he's a great GM. So I think there's some validity potentially to this. Shanahan, for the record, did say it's all BS, but everybody always says every story's BS.
I mean, what's he going to come out and say? Totally, we do not get along.
Right.
I don't know what to make of this. I know that you feel like the 49ers are going to make a big jump this year.
Huge.
I still don't know what we're going to get with Jimmy Garoppolo. We don't have a huge sample size with Jimmy G.
No, we don't.
have a big contract,
He's been
and
hurt.
we all know him.
Been hurt
but
twice.
he's only really played 10 full games.
Yeah, and he's been hurt twice. And last time got hurt without getting hit.
There's
It's
a lot of unknowns with this
No,
team.
there are. I do think Lynch has done a good job. I actually, outside of Solomon Thomas, who was a defensive lineman from Stanford in the Bay Area, I think their drafts have been fine. I don't know if they've been exceptional, but they've been fine. They've hit on a bunch of guys, or some guys, so we'll see. It bums me out because I really like where they're going.
I think it's an important year for them.
Yeah. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie